Good morning. Good to see you coming in as we're getting ready for our daily time together. Just starting out as we can together. Please feel free to drop a note to others and to me as we wish one another good morning. Good morning, Joni. And it is a rainy day, but a beautiful rainy day. And I hope that today brings growth and strength to everybody. Good morning, Annette. It's wonderful to be here together this morning as we get ready for our tefillah, for our prayer, for our service. Good morning, Eleanor, and Anita as well. Good morning to each of you and all of you as we get ready for this next day here on this Monday, on this Torah day, so that we can look a bit at our Torah service, our Torah portion for this morning. So to one and to all, Boker Tov, Boker O. Welcome to Boker Tov from Temple Sinai Congregation of Toronto's daily opportunity to connect, to reflect, and to remember. Good morning, Sandra. Thanks for the umbrella, Gloria, as we start out our day together. And let's begin, as we do each morning, from a place of appreciation, of gratitude, acknowledging God as Rofei Chol Basar, the one who offers the ongoing possibility of healing to all, umafli lasot, and whose actions of basic creation, of Maseh v'Reshit, are pele, are wondrous. Please join me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher yatzar et ha'adam bechokma, u'bara bo nekavim, chalulim, galui v'yadua lifnei chisech vodecha, she'im yipatech echad mehem, o yisatem echad mehem, אי אפשר להתקיים ולעמוד לפניך. ברוך אתה אדוני, רופא כל בשר, ומפליא לעשות. Blessed eternal God, creator of the universe, you have fashioned our bodies with wisdom, creating within us a finely balanced network. To stand before you in prayer is itself a fragile miracle. Eternal God, we praise you as the healer of body and spirit. And let's give thanks for that beautiful divine breath within that soul. The soul that you have given me, O God, is a pure one. You have created and formed it, breathed it into me, and within me you sustain it. So long as my soul is within me, I will give thanks to you, eternal my God and God of my ancestors, source of all creation, sovereign of all souls. We praise you, eternal God, in whose hand is the power of all life and the spirit of all flesh. And let's join together, La'asok b'divrei Torah, to celebrate the opportunity and the obligation to learn. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. V'arev na Adonai Eloheinu, v'divrei Toratcha b'finu, v'b'fi amcha beit Yisrael, v'niyeh anachnu v'tze'etzaenu, וצאצאי עמך בית ישראל, כולנו יודעי שמך ולומדי תורתך לשמה. ברוך אתה אדוני, המלמד תורה לעמו ישראל. אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור. These are the obligations whose value have no shi'ur. No amount is too small to be counted. One is never finished doing them. That's what we mean when we say whose value cannot be measured. They nourish us in this world and help us to create the world to come. Kibud av va'em, to honor fathers and mothers. Ugmilut chasadim, to perform acts of love and kindness. Vashkamat bet midrash shacharit v'yarvit, to attend the house of study morning and evening. V'achnasat ochim, to welcome the stranger. Ubikur cholim, to visit the sick. V'achnasat kala, to provide for brides and grooms. Ulvayat hamed, to keep faith with the dead. V'yun tefillah, to pray with sincerity. V'hava'at shalom ben adam l'chavero, to make peace when there is strife. V'talmud Torah keneged kulam, and the study of Torah is equal to them all. Let's continue with our Birchot HaShachar, our morning blessings, beginning entirely in Hebrew, the second blessing half-half, and reciting each of them one way or the other, alternating, except freeing the captive, Matir Asurim, which we will recite both ways as our sign that we will not forget nor give up on the hostages and their families. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan l'sechvi vina lahavchin ben yom uben laila. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, you have created me in the divine image. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani ben chorin. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, you have made me a Jew. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asali kol tzorki. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, you open the eyes of the blind. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish arumim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, you release those who are held captive, and also in Hebrew. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, zokef kefufim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, you maintain the balance of land and sea. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamechin mitzadei gaver. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, you surround Israel with strength. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, oter Yisrael b'tifara. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, you give strength to the weary. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hama'avir shena me'enai, utnuma me'afapai. So many blessings this morning, but one of our greatest blessings is that ongoing opportunity, that possibility to draw closer to divine unity, both to connect more to the divine one, but also to experience a greater unity, not to be, as I sometimes feel, maybe I'm not the only one here, a stranger to myself, not fully understanding each of my own internal processes and the like. And yet we can, through hard work, come closer to achdut, to echad, to the one, and to being more unified and strengthened ourselves. Wishing each that strength as we continue reciting Shema together. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed, Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, Bechol levavecha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha. Ve'ayu advorim ha'ele asher anochi metzavcha hayom al levavecha. Ve'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam. Ve'shivtecha bevetecha ubelechtecha b'derech ubeshochbecha ubekumecha. Ukshaltam le'ot al yadecha v'ayu letotafot ben einecha. וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם, ויעשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם, ונתנו על ציצית הכנף בתיל תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית, וראיתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני, ועשיתם אותם. ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם. אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת. Well, true it is that it is meaningful, excuse me, and strengthening to have this time together, this time as well to look a bit at Torah, that is so strongly with us at this time of year, especially in our way of observing the tradition, because we read Parashat Nitzavim, the beginning of Nitzavim, this week. We read Vayelech, the shortest of all the Torah portions, in addition to Nitzavim this week. But the beginning of Nitzavim is also what we read on the morning of Yom Kippur. And so it offers many different reasons for that. But today I want to focus not on what I think was the primary reason for its choosing, but a secondary, a close and similar reason for its choosing, because it says at its beginning, Atem nitzavim hayom, you stand today in the presence of the eternal your God. And that is on Yom Kippur, the experience that we seek is communally standing in the divine presence. And what does that mean communally? And it names your tribal heads, your elders, your officials, every householder. It names the more power, or in ancient times, male positions. But then it says children, wives or women, even the stranger. I don't know, even is a translation of the Vav here, and the stranger within your camp. And it says, Mechotev etzecha ad shoev memecha, from wood chopper to water drawer. And these positions are not just tasks that someone would do. I was reading recently in an academic book about a very ancient human experience. And in it, it talks about these very things as the examples of the lowest status circumstances, often done in communities with slaves by those, and that they are physically challenging, and that they are, again, so the point is that no matter how one is described, and we can note with difficulty or honesty about the order of what's noted here. But the idea is to be entirely inclusive, to say everyone is part of the covenant in 11 with the eternal God, that God is making with us on this day, that being God's people, as it says in verse 12, is not a privilege. It is a commitment. It is something that demands of us that we play our role. Our role, yes, in doing commandments, specifically Jewish activities, some of them are, but it's not as if, as our tradition affirms, that God is some divine supervisor with a checkbox, noting whether we're doing this mitzvah or that. It's not as if God needs the mitzvot, God needs these actions, but rather they represent that ongoing relationship. It's a lesson for life in general, that life is more meaningful and more significant in relationship, and that relationship is defined not by status and not by who we are or adjectives that might apply to us, but by our actions. By what we do. And as we're moving through the month of Elul, whether we're understanding and trying to understand, trying to analyze our own behavior or that of the society around us, it's not words that matter, it is actions. It is what is done in order to create a society that is confused and divided and hateful, or that is caring and inclusive and recognizes the needs and the differences of those among us. It is, in fact, that later kind of society that we strive to create together. And we're reminded by the painful reality in which we live that it takes an enormous amount of commitment and work to do just that. More on that as the week progresses. But now we continue with our prayer for the soldiers of the IDF. We hear in detail in media about Israel's ongoing war for its own survival, a war of defense, a war forced on Israel, and one that, as is said of Israel, their superpower is there's nowhere else to go. That Israel will continue to do everything that it must and that it can to protect its citizens and itself. And at the same time, there is an enormous human and real cost for these actions, starting with the huge cost on those who wear the madim, who wear the uniform, and who must stand on guard not only for Israel, but for all of our people. So for them and for hopes of a better day, we turn to these words of prayer for the soldiers of the IDF. מי שבירך אבותינו אברהם יצחק ויעקב ואמותינו שרה רבקה לאה ורחל, הוא יברך את חיילי צבא ההגנה לישראל ושאר מגיני עמנו העומדים על משמרתם. ישמרם הקדוש ברוך הוא ויצילם מכל צרה וצוקה ומכל נגע ומחלה, וישלח ברכה בכל מעשה ידיהם. ויקוים בהם הכתוב, וכיתתו חרבותיהם לעתים, וחניתותיהם למזמרות, לא יישאו גוי גוי חרב, ולא ילמדון עוד מלחמה, וישבו איש תחת גפנו, ותחת תאנתו, ואין מחריד, ונאמר, Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless the soldiers of the IDF and all who stand on guard for us. May the Holy One guard them against all difficulty and distress, injury, and illness. May all of their actions bring blessing, fulfilling the prophet's words. Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Let nation not lift up sword against nation, and may they learn more no more. May all sit under a vine or fig tree, with none to make them afraid, and together we say, Amen. We turn from our prayer for the soldiers to our prayer for the wounded, for the injured, for the ill, for the isolated, for those who are physically and otherwise nearest to us. Certainly, they are in our hearts, those whose names we know very, very well, who are struggling through rehab or to deal with a course of treatment or to seek one or to hopefully receive good news about health circumstances. For those names that have been given to me and given to Temple, those names placed in the chat and this and other services, as well as those names we know not so well, the so many wounded in this horrible war forced on us by terrorists, and for those still held captive, whether physically held captive or emotionally so, as the families of them, for all of them, we turn to these words of refuah. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם יצחק ויעקב ואמותינו שרה רבקה לאה ורחל, הוא ירפא את כל מכותינו. יהי רצון מלפניך אדוני אלוהינו לחל עמם לרפאותם, וישלח לנו מהרה רפואה שלמה ועטרת שלום, ונאמר Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless and heal all who suffer. May it be the divine will to provide healing and strength. Reveal to us the holiness of life, the wholeness of shalom, and let us say together, Amen. I really appreciate the opportunity each morning for us to be together and to connect and reflect. And now we turn our emotional and spiritual attentions to memory, to recalling those who died in the last 30 days, to those who have died in recent days and weeks, and those whom we have taken into our hearts with our own. During the period of Shloshim, the last 30 days, we extend our condolences to the families of Minky Lipson, Alan Gerskup, Joanna Sloan, Faye Kate, Anna Mae Silverman. We also remember all victims of terror and war, including terror victims Adrian Marcello, Alex Lubnoff, Almog Salusi, Carmel Gat, Eden Yerushalmi, Hirsch Goldberg Poland, Ori Danino, Roni Shakuri, Yohanan Shkori, Yuri Birnbaum, Yochai Chai Glam, Agam Naim, Amit Bakri, Amit Friedman, Gary Gidon Hankal, Dotan Shimon, Daniel Alush, Ori Ashkenazi Nehemia, Tom Ish Shalom, David Moshe Ben Shitrit, Daniel Mimon Toaf. And on yahrzeit, on the anniversary of their deaths, on this 20th day of the month of Elul, the 23rd of September, 2024, we honored the life and legacy on yahrzeit of Gisela Braun, Florence Brill, Clara Feldstein, Lisa Hirsch-Wax, Melvin King, Toba Lipman, Morris Nightingale, Sandra Papson, Kate Phillips, Rose Smith, Alan Coleman Snyder, Isidore Benjamin Weinstein. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be a blessing to us. Our griefs and our sympathies are mingled as we turn together to words sanctified by memory, words glorified by hope. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabba, be'alma divorach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, b'agala ubisman koli v'imru amen. Yehe shmei rabba mevorach le'alam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadal v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei kudsha borichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shmaya v'chaim alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'momav hu yaseh shalom alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and bring comfort and strength to all who remember. And together we say amen. And before our shofar blowing, temple expresses its gratitude to the Wax family, who made a donation to the annual campaign for tzedakah, observing yahrzeit for Lisa Hirsch-Wax today. And a donation has been made to the Rabbi's Discretionary Fund by Colin Lewis, observing yahrzeit for Kate Phillips. Now, give me just a second, because I would certainly prefer, if it's possible, which I'm not sure it is, that I change my settings, even though they're not that great, so that hopefully we can see the shofar when we blow it this morning, because we haven't been able previously. Tekiah. Well, we could see it, but we couldn't hear it this morning. Well, such is the way. And I want to wish everyone a Boker Tov, a Boker Ol. I hope you have a wonderful day, and looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Make it a good one.